Thanks for tuning in. Don't mind the shoes and cleaning supplies sitting down there. Uh, been using it, and then bottles is basically just vinegar and water and other things mixed in. Just simple homemade cleaning supplies, just using old bottles. I say short. Many of you do that, but I'm going to be showing you how to fix a cracked upper brace, and this works for the lower brace of the aquariums too. You can get these used aquariums pretty cheap, and these braces do sometimes get damaged. Now, it should not affect much of the structure for a smaller tank like a 55. 75 would be iffy, but I've seen a lot of 75s without the center brace. People cut them out. I've seen some 75s completely without the brace, and they do just fine. But I'm going to be repairing this, and for the whacking system that I built, if you ain't seen it, I got a video on that. I actually drop it in the description. You can check it out later if you want to. And yeah, I'm pretty much what you're going to need is a soldering iron. So let me go over here. And you want to heat it up and not touch this part. It's the hot end. Take it and come over here, and don't touch your glass. You got to be careful. You can use a zip tie to fill in a lot of the big gaps, but just pretty well melt this together. This will melt super easy, so take your time. You want to do this in a well ventilated area, and this will give you your strength back. And if you take your time, you can make a repair that isn't too noticeable, especially if you sand it and smooth it down good and repaint it with some Aquarium Fusion. But usually you don't have to do all that. I ain't too picky. Long as the structure's back, the strength is back. Now, a lot of times if people get tanks and they take them down, they set them outside, the sun does this. Now, cold weather can sometimes do this too, but mostly it's just the sun and the way people handle them. So as you can see, we're melting it back together, folks. You want to get that down in that pretty deep. And then we can just smooth this part out. If you wanted to, you could take the rim completely off, but there ain't no need here. Just gotta take your time and not touch your grass, because heat can hurt the grass. It won't hurt it. You can get away with touching it a little, but I wouldn't do it, especially on these 55s. They tempered. So here's the main part, close to the grass. You just want to go about just a little backwards and forwards, kind of like just sewing it together. And we just start melting it over. Just like so. I'm going to set the camera down and finish up, then I'll show you. So as you can see, we pretty well got this all welded back together and melted. It's strong as the original. You can actually take some sandpaper if you wanted to and lightly sand this and paint this rim of this tank, and you wouldn't hardly even ever notice that. Once you sand it, you can go back and melt a little bit more into it. Had to be fine. The big gap is pretty well filled up and gone all the way through here. Now I'm going to be showing you how to link this together, because sometimes when they like this, yeah, you have to add when you can't bridge them together. Now to repair, pretty much to repair this, we're going to use just some black plastic. You can use pieces of plastic from a broke up paint cap. You want it the same color, but if you pretty well paint this, it don't matter what color you use. You can use a white zip tie, black zip tie, as long as it's plastic. So what you want to do is pretty well warm this gap up. Just stick your soldering iron down in there. As you can see, the reason you wanted a well ventilated room is it puts out a lot of fumes. These fumes can be dangerous. So I'm trying to bridge it over, and we can't, because there ain't enough plastic though. So we're going to melt this over the gap into itself. Now the little bitty cracks, you can fix it the same way as we did the first one, because we don't have to add no material to it. We can just melt it back together and then smooth it out. Okay, that's pretty well got most of the part melted back together. Just smooth it up some, and it looks pretty well good as new. So we got the seam all filled in. We got that side over there. Now I'm going to show you how to repair the bottom if it's missing, which is missing a piece of bottom too. That's right. It's simple to do, just like before, but I'm going to show you. You guys should have a good view of this whole corner. It's a whole chip. It's like somebody set it down, and it just ain't the way it should be. We're going to take this right here, and we're going to set it in just like so, and we're just going to cut it with a soldering iron. Once we get it melted on the sides into the crack. Now you want it to cool off when you do this, because it will pull away just like I did like that. So let's just go ahead and melt this together and then give it time to cool off so we can cut it to size. Now give it time to cool. It might take it a few seconds because the plastic is bendable right now pretty well. You could smooth this out with a spoon or anything till it cools down. Once it cools down, it becomes pretty stiff. That's what it's doing right now, and the cooler it gets, the hotter it gets. So once you get that side cool, you can go ahead and do this side, melting it into each other. And you just can do it when you feel in a gap like this. Pretty well just groove it just a little deep and then smooth it. Then you can come back and straighten it up. Now this puts the strength back into your brace and makes your tank look a little bit better too, especially if you're worried about strength. And as I said before, you can use any color. You can paint this any way you want to, because I know a lot of people paints the rims to braces. I'm okay with black. I'm going to leave this in black. Now once you get it to size, you can take and pretty well just melt the top of this. Take your time and it come off just like so, and then just melt it. And you can work with this and probably get it perfect, but I just don't need it perfect. This is the back side of the tank and I'm not too worried about it. I just need the brace to be stout again. And as I said in this video a couple times, it's usually caused by sun and stuff like that. This bowl in the plastic. Now, if I ever get a tank with a bowl, I'll show you how to straighten the bowl of the tank up. So this is the repair. And as I said before, you could sand this and pretty well just smooth it out so it looks good, but from a distance you won't never note it. So this is the repair. It turned out great. I could have smoothed it up more. It's good enough. This is the back side of the tank. Ain't nobody gonna see it, and it's structurally strong. Now the cool thing about that is, if you take your time and don't touch the grass and stay, it don't affect your silicone. But if you get it too hot, it can. Now this tank right here has got silicone lifted in one or two places, but it's pretty well new and it's pretty well stuck. So it does not need resealed. Some people would, this and don't. I actually seen it hold water. This is the other repair, turned out great. As you can see, it's one piece. Big repair we made. It's solid now. Actually moves both of them. I could actually held this with something and kept it straight, but the leads I use, it won't be noticeable. Said before, backside the tank. So that's how you can repair the braces on your tanks if they cracked. If you find this video helpful, let me know in the comment section. I enjoy hearing from everybody, and show your support for my channel by smashing that subscribe button. I appreciate it if you do. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.